We live in a world that never stops whispering, more money, more followers, more productivity, more comfort, more pleasure. The promise is simple. If you just have a little more, you'll finally feel whole. But here's the problem. Wholeness never arrives. The finish line keeps moving. This is the trap of endless want. And the antidote? Something radical. Something so simple we often overlook it. The philosophy of enough. If you're new here, welcome to the Old Soul's Guide, where we dive deeper than the surface and explore practical wisdom for living with more authenticity and meaning. If that's your kind of thing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you won't miss future insights. Now, let's begin. Part 1. The hunger that never ends. Think about it. When was the last time you said, if I just had this one thing, I'd be happy? Maybe it was a raise. Maybe it was a new gadget. Maybe it was love. And when you got it, what happened? For a brief moment, you felt satisfied. The world glowed. Everything seemed lighter. But then, almost invisibly, your mind adjusted. The enough you reached instantly became the new baseline. And suddenly, you wanted more again. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. Imagine running in place no matter how fast you go. That's what desire does. It promises progress, but you're not actually moving anywhere. It's not evil. Desire kept our ancestors alive. It drove them to find food, shelter, warmth. But in today's world, that survival engine runs unchecked. Instead of just food, we crave feasts. Instead of safety, we crave status. Instead of comfort, we crave luxury. And so we drown, not from lack, but from an excess of wanting. Part 2. Why more always fails. There's a story about a fisherman. A wealthy businessman sees him sitting by the sea, resting after catching enough fish for the day. The businessman asks, "Why don't you fish more, earn more, buy a boat, hire workers, build a company, get rich?" The fisherman replies, "And what would I do then?" The businessman smiles. "Then you could retire, sit by the sea, and rest." The fisherman points at himself, "But that's exactly what I'm doing right now." The moral is clear. Chasing more often loops us back to what we already had, but costs us years of struggle in between. Philosophers across time have warned us about this. The Stoics taught that desire enslaves. Buddhists said craving is the root of suffering. Even modern psychology shows that after a certain point, more wealth or success does little for long-term happiness. And yet, we keep grasping. Why? Because we confuse pleasure with fulfillment. Pleasure is like sugar. It spikes and crashes. Fulfillment is nourishment. It sustains. But our culture trains us to chase sugar, to believe the next upgrade, the next milestone, the next like will feed the emptiness inside. It never does. Part 3. Defining enough. So what is enough? Enough is not mediocrity. It's not laziness. It's not giving up ambition. Enough is the quiet recognition that you don't need to keep feeding the bottomless pit of desire. It's looking at your life and saying, "This is sufficient. I don't need excess to validate my existence." But here's the trick. Enough is deeply personal. For one person, enough money might mean covering bills and having free evenings to read. For another, enough might include a creative project, a family, or adventures around the world. There's no universal number, no checklist. Enough isn't measured by comparison. It's measured by alignment between your values and your choices. Ask yourself, do I want this because it truly enriches me, or because the world told me I should want it? That single question can cut through years of noise. Part 4. The lies of endless want. To escape the cycle, you must see the lies for what they are. Lie number 1. More will make me secure. But true security doesn't come from piling resources. It comes from building resilience, the inner ability to adapt no matter what happens. Lie number 2. More will make me respected. Status fades. The people impressed by your possessions today will be unimpressed tomorrow. Respect rooted in image is as fragile as glass. Lie number 3. More will make me happy. Temporary highs? Sure. But happiness built on constant acquisition is like trying to fill a cup with a hole in the bottom. And maybe the most dangerous lie of all. Lie number 4, if I stop wanting more, I'll stop growing. Not true. Growth isn't about accumulating, it's about deepening. You don't need endless desire to evolve. You need clarity. Part 5. The freedom of enough. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing, I already have enough. The weight drops, the urgency softens, the noise quiets. Suddenly, time feels different. You don't need to sprint. You don't need to perform. You don't need to prove. This doesn't mean you stop creating, stop striving, stop dreaming. It means you stop doing it out of desperation. You stop living like your worth is on the line every second. Enough transforms striving into choice, not compulsion. It allows ambition without anxiety. It gives room for gratitude to breathe. That's freedom. Not the freedom to have everything, but the freedom to stop needing everything. Part 6. Practicing enough. Philosophy isn't just theory, it's practice. So how do you live the philosophy of enough? 1. The gratitude audit. Every day, name 3 things you already have that would have once felt impossible. Notice how yesterday's dreams quietly became today's normal. 2. The desire check. When you want something new, ask, will this matter in 5 years? Or is it just an itch? If it's just an itch, let it pass. 3. The simplicity experiment. Cut out one unnecessary thing, a subscription, a gadget, a commitment. See what happens. Chances are life feels lighter, not poorer. 4. The comparison detox. Stop measuring your enough against someone else's. Their journey is irrelevant to yours. The only meaningful yardstick is your own values. 5. The deep why. When chasing a goal, ask, what do I hope this will give me? Often you'll find you already have the feeling you're seeking or could cultivate it without the external chase. Part 7. Stories of enough. History gives us countless examples of people who lived enough. Diogenes, the Greek philosopher, slept in a barrel and mocked Alexander the Great, who offered him anything he desired. Diogenes simply said, "Stand out of my sunlight." His point, what's the use of kingship when a man content with nothing already has freedom? Or consider the modern minimalist movement, people choosing smaller homes, fewer possessions, not because they have to, but because it liberates them from clutter, debt, and distraction. Or think about elders you've met, the grandmother with a small garden, the grandfather with a few books, who radiate more peace than millionaires. These are not stories of deprivation. They're stories of alignment. Part 8. Enough in relationships. This philosophy doesn't just apply to possessions. It applies to love. Think of the endless search for the perfect partner. Dating apps feed the illusion that there's always someone better just one swipe away. But perfection is an illusion. The question isn't, is this person flawless? It's, is this connection enough for the life I want to live? In friendships, too, we often chase popularity over depth, but 10 acquaintances who barely know you will never equal one friend who understands your soul. Enough in relationships means valuing presence over potential, quality over quantity, depth over surface. Part 9. Enough in work. Work is another arena where endless want takes over. We chase the next promotion, the bigger paycheck, the higher title. And yes, growth matters. But unchecked, it turns into a race without a finish line. Enough in work doesn't mean slacking off. It means defining success on your terms. Maybe success isn't becoming a CEO. It's doing meaningful work with time left to enjoy your evenings. Maybe it's not scaling endlessly. It's serving deeply. Enough means remembering. A career is part of life, not the whole of it. Part 10. The spiritual core of enough. At its heart, the philosophy of enough is spiritual. It asks, what truly makes life worth living? The answer is rarely more stuff. It's often moments of connection, wonder, stillness, meaning. When you stop chasing endless want, you start noticing the simple miracles already around you. The taste of food, the warmth of sunlight, the laughter of someone you love. Enough teaches us that life's richness isn't hidden in what we lack, but in what we've overlooked. Part 11. The courage of enough. But let's be honest, living this way takes courage, because the world will not applaud you for stopping. It will call you unambitious. It will tempt you with comparison. It will tell you you're behind. Choosing enough is swimming against the current of a consumer culture built on dissatisfaction. It's daring to step off the treadmill while everyone else keeps running. But what's the alternative? A life spent endlessly wanting, endlessly grasping, endlessly restless. The deeper courage is saying, I refuse to spend my life starving in the middle of a feast. Final word. The philosophy of enough is not about scarcity. It's not about settling. It's about freedom. Freedom from the claws of endless desire. Freedom to live aligned with what truly matters. Freedom to say, this is sufficient. I am sufficient. So maybe the question isn't, how much more can I get? Maybe the real question is, how much more can I let go and still feel whole? Because in the end, enough is not the enemy of growth. It is the soil where true growth begins. And perhaps the most radical act in a world that worships more is simply whispering with quiet strength, this is enough. And if this message resonated with you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Not for endless growth, but to keep building a space where wisdom and reflection are always enough.